as you can see from the head table, persons who are professionals from different areas, a cross-section of them. We are here not because we have anything in it. They say normally a lawyer does not open his mouth if he is not paid. I can assure you we are not being paid. And we are here because we believe that as a profession, it is not merely going to court and earning a fee, but it is, any profession is a service. It has to serve society. Whether you be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, or there are so many professions. So one of the fundamentals of a profession is service to society. And we are here because everybody has told you about the attacks on the judiciary. Mr. Saleh, Mr. Sumandaran, Mr. Pulja, Surya, Miza, Upul, and Professor, the good professor from the academic sphere, has been explaining this to you. Why? Because whether we like it or not, we are a democracy. What is a democracy? A democracy is not something that is in a book or a constitution that Professor Vasanta Senivaratnam will be lecturing on only. It is a living thing. It has to live. And as someone has said, a democracy is the worst form of government next to the others. So other forms of government are worse than a democracy. We have defects in a democracy, there is no doubt about it. But to talk of a benevolent dictator, or you want a strong man, it has proved time and again that strong men have been a disaster. They are only worried about themselves. They are not worried about the country. And I must say, though we have these lawyers on this platform here, the greatest attacks on democracy have been when people who have qualified lawyers as the heads of state, and I could say lawyers in parliament are the biggest disasters. And something that, because we have left the side down, let's face it. We talk of the 78 Constitution, the stoning of the houses of judges is excellency. Mr. Anil Professor says don't use the word excellency. But J.R. Jha was from a legal family, the president of Sri Lanka. And I would think that that simple man, Ranasinghe Previdas, as the president, was the person who least attacked the judiciary. We have had this president, the previous president, who also had not the one before that, the elder brother who had a legal qualification, also attacked the judiciary. So, democracy is something very fundamental. What is democracy? It's the rule by the people. It's you, not only us. If democracy is the people, it's the worst form of government next to the others. And what is the judiciary? The judiciary is the last hope. It's the last hope. It's the body that has to decide disputes between citizens and citizens, and disputes between the citizens and the state. If we allow the judiciary to be weakened, as Mr. Sumandaran said, we also have to criticize the judiciary when it's wrong. We have to make sure that the judiciary is closely watched and scrutinized to do the right thing, that there is no corruption, that there is no corrupt orders. That is part of our responsibility. But more so, in the interest of democracy, we need a strong judiciary. Because the politicians will do what they always mostly do, because they are only worried about themselves and the next election. But the judges are there to decide disputes objectively, uphold the rights of a party or the people. And if that goes, that is the end. We may talk of economic prosperity, but that won't last long. Or we may talk of stability, that won't last long, unless we are founded on democracy. What is our constitution? Our constitution, as I said, is not for something to be read and lectured upon. It's a living body. It's something that has to progress. It has to protect the people. It has to protect society. And why we say this is also what we fail to realize. Of course, we make the mistake of electing people to parliament who are not suited. And so we are largely to blame. But we forget that Parliament, the executive, and the judiciary are agents of the sovereign people. Our constitution is based on sovereignty. Sovereignty is not in Parliament. In that sense, they are only agents. Technically, they are only agents. So is the judiciary. So, they are our agents, yours and mine. And they have to be accountable. There has to be a balance of powers. There cannot be abuse. And the foremost institution to protect the rights of the people is the judiciary. And if the judiciary goes, we might as well roll up the constitution, forget about democracy. And then we are going to have chaos. And I can assure you that no dictatorship will last long. No dictatorship will help the country in the long run. And it's going to have always that amount of disharmony. And one of the things that I think as lawyers we forget, the judiciary is important, it has to be independent. But we lawyers are part of the justice system. We are an essential part, that is something we forget. We elevate our politicians to gods, which is useless. We also sometimes elevate our judges to gods. They are equal partners with the judiciary, with the members of the legal profession. Without the lawyers, you don't have a court of law, whether it's the official or the unofficial bar. So the lawyers have to realize that their role is equal to that of the judges. That is my firm belief. And we should not degrade ourselves, bring ourselves down. We have an equal right as a judge to demand justice for our clients, for the citizens. It's not merely the judge dispensing justice. We have a right to demand it. So we, as lawyers, must realize our importance without lowering ourselves in status, because we are equal partners with the judiciary in justice. We are not, everybody thinks of us as this color code carrier running around making noise and earning money. But maybe that's partly true. But the fact is, we got to realize the importance of the legal profession, how it stands for justice, how it stands against abuse, and how we have to serve the people and the Constitution and uphold the Constitution. So are we, and that is where we have to all take responsibility. Because it's not enough only for the lawyers to protect and come forward, like Mr. Salatiris explained how when democracy was a threat, the lawyers came to the forefront. And today you have everybody explaining how democracy is hit a low level now, with so much of abuse and so much of threats to the judiciary. So, but then we are partly to blame. Because look at what we did a few years ago. We elect some guy with 6.9 million votes, and after 2 years, we chased the poor fellow away. What's wrong with us? In 2 years' time, we chase him away. So something's wrong with us. So we have to take responsibility for democracy, you and I. And unless we do this, and unless we realize now, not only is there the question of attacks on democracy, there are other subtle threats which comes from the rulers, whether it's by means of racial religious tensions. And those have to be stopped, so the lawyers have to make, maybe under the ICCPR is being wrongly used, people are being locked up for wrong reasons, only because you're a political opponent or a critic. And so we have to make sure that the judiciary delivers justice to those people. We have had some strong judgments from the High Court on the wrong use of the ICCPR to just punish people, and the misinterpretation, the misunderstanding of the ICCPR by the government in prosecuting people. So, while I associate myself with everything that has been said by the learned members of this table, my call to you is that without resorting, I think the Aragale was right, pardon me for saying it, because we have lost trust in all our rulers. And we have this, what you call this Sattumaro system. We bring blue, green, red in rotation, but we generally end up appointing the same roles in rotation. So there is your responsibility, whether we have to look for a change in thinking, because unless the change comes from us in how we think of a united, independent Sri Lanka and stand for objective values without getting sidestepped or distracted by things of race, religion, or economics, democracy cannot flourish. It cannot be a true democracy. I thank you all for this opportunity to speak today. I appreciate your presence and which shows your keenness and interest in protecting democracy and in realizing that the judiciary is very fundamental to preserve democracy. And let's see how we can go forward to try to foster more democracy, more unity, and to protect the judiciary. Thank you.